Hi, I'm Winnie. I'm 17. I'm a senior in high school. My parents decided to put me in therapy because they think I need help.
Hello, I'm Dr. Psychology, and I'll bring you concepts from Unit 1.
Hi, I'm Dr. Biology. I'll be talking about Unit 2.
And I'm Dr. Sociology, talking about Unit 3. Tell me about your childhood.
I was adopted at 6 years old. I'm glad I was adopted, but I don't really know who I am.
Adoption can make identity development difficult, but it's not impossible to have a positive identity. Maybe talk to your parents about it. Was it an open or closed adoption?
Open, but I don't know my biological parent anymore.
That's good. Good evidence research shows that open adoptions are better. One of the reasons for this is that you have an open medical history.
I know my medical history. I'm lucky to be prepared for any hereditary diseases. My bio parents were both alcoholics. They would drink at Applebee's all day and night.
This could have been passed on to you. Genetic predisposition is a tendency for certain traits to be inherited, including physical, mental, and disorders.
Does this mean I'm doomed to be an alcoholic? My life is ruined. I'm going to be an alcoholic. I'll never hold a job and I'll die alone on the streets.
It sounds like you're catastrophizing. We'll get to that later. This does not mean you're doomed, but it increases your chances. Genes don't make us do things.
My adoptive parents are more than capable of supporting me. They're very wealthy. We live in a gated community in the good part of town. They always buy me whatever I ask.
This sounds like you have a high socioeconomic status.
What's the socioeconomic status?
That's the position of an individual or group on the socioeconomic scale. It's determined by a combination of social and economic factors like income, education, and occupation.
Both my parents have their doctors in finance and lots of money from being actuaries.
Note that children from families with high socioeconomic status are vulnerable to high rates of substance abuse.
More reasons I might be an alcoholic? Anyway, my parents are controlling and try to organize my life to protect me from disappointment. I feel confined when it comes to what I can and can't do.
Your parents are showing a helicopter parenting style towards you. They think they're doing the right thing, but in reality it's taking away opportunities and experiences from you.
Since they do everything, I don't feel confident in any of the life skills I'm supposed to have, though. I learned that because my parents controlled my life, I didn't have any power, so I've stopped trying to control anything. I just let life happen to me.
When repeatedly exposed to uncontrollable stressors, individuals learn that they lack behavioral control over environmental events, which undermines their motivation to make changes or to fix situations.
I got tossed back and forth in the foster system before my bio family relinquished rights, and my adoptive parents were able to adopt me. I never had to say anything in the matter. I don't even try anymore.
Tell me more about your upbringing.
Whenever I would do or say something that my parents didn't like, I'd get punished. They'd say to me, "Aren't you grateful we adopted you? We worked so hard for you to be here, now you're throwing it away." It always made me feel guilty. So whatever I did wrong, I would never do it again.
This sounds like operant conditioning. They're trying to change your behavior with consequence, making you less likely to show that behavior again.
That makes a lot of sense. I remember if I ever did something good, they would always praise me a lot, even just for simple tasks. My parents do their best to keep me on medications and therapy to help me with my ADHD, attention deficit or something like that.
Attention deficit is a misnomer. It doesn't deplete your attention. ADHD scatters it unevenly and focuses only on certain things. That's because ADHD's nervous system is interest-based rather than importance or priority-based. ADHD hyperfocuses and is intense concentration on a particular task, usually one of great interest.
That makes sense. I can always focus on reading my favorite books. My favorite book is Percy Jackson because he has dyslexia like I do. Because of that, I get extra help from my school to keep up on my work.
That's an example of neurodivergence.
Neurodivergence sounds like my brain is diverged from what's normal.
Yes, but there's a vast amount of neurodiversity between human brains.
What other ways are brains different from each other?
Autism and dyslexia are examples of inherent forms of neurodivergence, while alternations in brain function is caused by things as trauma, long-term meditation practices, or heavy uses of psychedelic drugs are examples of forms of neurodivergence resulting from experience.
You mentioned autism. What is that?
Autism is a form of neurodivergence that can be thought of as a spectrum.
Oh, so it's like a line? I might be more or less autistic?
No, it's more like a circle of different strengths and weaknesses. Someone might not have issues with executive functioning, but struggle with social skills and sensory issues.
That could explain why I really struggle with connecting with my friends and classmates at school.
This could be due to the double empathy problem. This kind of mismatch between two people can lead to faulty communication and the breakdown of relationships.
I usually stress over grades and how I'm behind others in my class. I still don't know what I want to do after graduation. When I think about it, I have palpitations, sweating, dry mouth, shortness of breath, fidgeting, accelerated speech, increased negative emotions, and longer duration of stress fatigue.
You're figuring out your future. That's stressful. These are physiological and psychological responses to internal and external stressors. Stress involves changes affecting nearly every system of the body, influence how people feel and behave.
Sometimes I think I never do anything right. After graduation, I don't think I'll ever amount to anything.
It seems like you're exaggerating the negative consequences of events or decisions. You think that the worst possible outcome will occur from a particular action or in a particular situation. Feels as if they are in the midst of a catastrophe in situations that may be serious and upsetting, but are not necessarily disastrous. The tendency to catastrophize can unnecessarily increase levels of anxiety and lead to maladaptive behavior.
To cope with the stress, I usually take long breaks to watch a show or have a snack. Sometimes I take a nap when I'm feeling too overwhelmed.
This sounds like a good coping strategy. Coping is the use of cognitive and behavioral strategies to manage demands of a situation when these demands are thought to be taxing or exceeding one's resources, or to reduce the negative emotions and conflict caused by stress. Coping strategies either address the problems such as sleeping to reduce stress, or addressing the emotions like snacking to distract yourself from the stress.
Oh, I see.
Hopefully you can avoid letting alcohol be a coping strategy despite your genetic predisposition to alcoholism.
I really don't know what I'm going to do in the future regarding my career. I'm a spiritual person, so I've been praying for discernment about that. I've been trying to figure out what my strengths and gifts are and how I can use them to make a positive change in the world. I feel like God has spoken to me and that there's only one option for me to go career-wise.
What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about being a bartender at the local club.
That's a horrible idea regarding your genetic, socioeconomic status, and your coping strategies. You should really think harder about what you want your career to be.
Maybe I can be a therapist and help people, just like you guys.
No.